Yes, hello, sports enthusiasts, fans, and pundits. Welcome to SOUQ Sports. And of course, in the next 45 minutes, as usual, I'll be bringing you up to speed with what has happened, what will happen, and what can happen in the world of sports. I am the top cat, TC Barra. And with me, as usual, I got the tag team partner. Yeah. Yes, the flyest, the finest, freshest of them all, Charlie Montero. I mean, it feels like it's heavyweight wrestling, ladies and gentlemen, weighing 50 pounds.
No, no, no. I'm more than
Charlie!
50. I'm more than 50. Come on, don't look at the body. More than 50.
Okay,
Definitely more.
350 pounds, Charlie Montero!
Yeah, it's good to be back on Souk Sports. I mean, I would say I will absolutely say I lived my time away, but
Yeah.
it's good to be back. It's Charlie Montero, guys, and you are welcome to Souk Sports. Time for us to get this show on the road.
Yes, indeed. Let's go full throttle. But then, first and foremost, draw your belt, put it in, and ensure that you do safety first. At least 8 countries have booked their place in the knockout stage of the ongoing FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in Colombia. Now, the 8 countries, of course, include Nigeria, Germany, Spain, USA, Brazil, France, Mexico, Colombia, and most recently, because of the fixture yesterday, North Korea. So this follows Nigeria's 4-0 win over Venezuela on Saturday, and Germany defeated South Korea by 1-0. Of course, you know Nigeria's Falconets booked a place in the second round of the 2024 ongoing FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup after beating Venezuela. Chris Danjima's side finished second in Group D, and that was behind the leaders Germany. The 2 countries recorded 6 points from 3 games, but the Germans had a superior goal difference, and it gave them the edge. I don't know what you think about the under-20 girls, and so far how they've come.
They're energetic. They seem to know what they are doing. They know what they want, and they are striding for it. I think they were able to go toe to toe with the Germans in their group, and qualifying with 6 points, even though the Germans qualify with more goals.
Yeah.
But we see that they are dedicated to this, and they know what they want to do, and hopefully they will get where
Oh
they.
boy.
Yeah.
Well, we're rooting for you over here. We're hoping that it works out for you guys. Congratulations to the Falconets for making it to the next stage of the competition, and we're going to be monitoring that to bring you up to speed with how it unfolds. But then, what happened over the weekend at the Netflix Champions? Some persons have described as nothing, short of very, very great, and that is the performance of the Super Eagles at the Godswill Audio Stadium when they took on, before they used to be called the Squirrels of Benin, and now they are called the Cheetahs of Benin Republic. So at some point, let me take it down memory lane. I think it was in 2022 or something when they decided that the Squirrels of Benin Republic wasn't, going, it wasn't
It was suitable
suitable
for them.
for them anymore, and so they decided to go for Cheetahs of Benin. But as contrasting as it were, squirrels are they're not slow. Squirrels are fast, but the cheetahs are more faster
Faster.
if you had to place both animals side by side. So, despite the change of name, the Beninois national team could not.
Wasn't a change in fortune.
Led by former Super Eagles gaffer. Now, here's the twist. They had played a first leg, or they had played a game before that. I think it was last year. And General was, just resumed his role as the head coach of Benin Republic. And they defeated Nigeria.
2-1.
Crazy outcome. But then Ademola Lookman came to the party. Some say it was rescue for Nigeria because it was in additional minutes of the first half that Nigeria went, into the break with a slim lead, and that's a 1-0 lead. But they held them until after the hour mark, and Victor Osimhen was brought on. And within 6 minutes of his arrival on the pitch, he got his goal in the 78th minute. And then we went on to see Ademola Lookman make it 3 for the Super Eagles. However, there were chances where Victor Osimhen could have, increased his tally and all that, but then it did not happen. If we could really see those goals right now, those goals come up quickly on the screen, so we could take a look at Ademola Lookman's goal, Victor Osimhen's goal, and the second goal by Ademola Lookman, because basically there's a lot has been said about the Super Eagles. and this performance. So Ademola Lookman picking the ball from behind, beating 2 or 3 defenders there, slotting it in the corner after Boniface severally had missed opportunities, and then we saw Ademola score that goal. Let's talk about this goal first and foremost.
Well, I feel it's just Ademola Lookman being Ademola Lookman. We all know what he's used to playing in the streets in Perkham. He just showed us some highlights of his childhood, and I think Rio Ferdinand praised him in the final of the UEFA Cup final.
Yeah, for when he played for.
He just showed his prowess. I mean, we know what Ademola Lookman is like. We know what he did at Fulham and in English Premier League, and he just shows you that he still has it. And everybody's tipping him to come in as the African best player,
Ballon d'Or nomination
and everything. But we know he's good. We know his prowess. You know how skillful he is on the pitch, and he just showed us exactly what he's made of in that goal. And leading to that goal, we could have said Victor Boniface had a lot of chances to put us ahead, but he just showed that he can carry the team, and he can show us little glimpse of what he can do, and that just full praises to Ademola for showing the world what he's made of.
In hindsight, talking about that goal where Victor Osimhen had that tap in, watching it over and over again, I realized that he made it look easier than it actually is. Close up, if we could see that goal where that ball had come from the side, I think it was Wilfred Ndidi who provided that assist, and he just tapped in. Not necessarily a tap. That was a great shot. I mean, watching the build up there and that beautiful sublime pass from Wilfred, then you see that beautiful, finishing there from a top quality player. I wonder, why Napoli would let such a quality go.
It's a centre forward finish. I mean, the instinctive nature of the goal. He just put his foot through it, whipped the shot in, deceived the keeper with the bounce, and he top corner of the post. And what a sublime goal. I mean, we know the quality, we know his quality, we know his pedigree. It's just sad that with recent complication about his transfer, him forcing his way out. But I think this is just a show of what is to come at Galatasaray, what he's made of. I mean, we can't take anything from Victor Osimhen. He's top class, and he just showed that on Sunday.
Well, a lot has been said about the performance of the Super Eagles, but then let's listen to the captain, Chustekong, and of course, standing coach, Elston Eguavon. After the match, they had a few words to say.
We prepared to win the game. We respect Benin. Last time we played against them, they won the game. But yeah, like I said, maybe only yesterday, that we have great belief in our team. We have great belief in our coach. He's like a family member who's come back to us now, and we knew we had to take the responsibility today. I think with the attacking talent that we have, we don't have to name them, but I think everybody knows how dangerous we are. That if we play well, we try our best to keep the door shut at the back. We're going to create chances and we'll score. So. I have a great belief that if we give the boys enough balls up front, that they'll put them away. And I think today was a good indication of the direction that we want to head in, and the first step of many that we have to take to be back at AFCON.
Formation is only information, and we have players with quality. You can decide to play in any system. This is something we discussed. And I also observe, I slept over it, and I know, with the caliber of players that we have, we can decide to play any formation and be successful. The players are always there. And, when much is expected from Nigerians, that's where we see performance. People have been, we've been getting a lot of backlash, and then the boys didn't know it, and we know we have the caliber and quality to be able to beat anything, but we respect teams anyway. So anybody can come in and do the same job. It's not a problem. So there's the mindset. We have the potentials. It's how you check out your opponent and give information, and then you'll go out and do the job.
We prepared to win the game.
That was Coach Eguavon, and of course, sounding very modest. He's like a spare tire. You bring him in, you fix him in, and he gets it on the road. I mean, he's delivered the goods a couple of times.
Yeah.
And Some persons have said, why don't you give him the job? But I think the role he has in the NFF, which is like technical director, is a lot more prestigious than just being on the bench. I don't know what you think about that.
So I think he still has a lot to give. He has quality.
Yeah.
He has the knowledge. He has the footballing knowledge. Experience, we always say, is the best teacher. And he has done it time in and
On the pitch and off
on
the
the pitch
pitch.
and off. Yeah. So I feel he knows what he wants from the players. I mean, another thing is communication. He communicates to the players and he gives them
He
the
said information is
and
formation.
you get me? I was going there. And he and the players have sat down and looked at the game and said, we need to do better. We need to show Nigerians that we can.
Yeah.
We have the players. It's not a question of whether we have the players to play in any formation, like he has said. So it's just a matter of, do they want to? Which players are best suited for what position, and which players are best suited for the
What
win
game?
or for what game? And we saw the substitutions he made at you know when he reached the hour mark. He brought in pace. He took up Boniface. He identified that Boniface was lagging.
Yeah.
So he put in pace and the game changed. And every time the midfielders had the ball, they wanted to put it up front. And you see Ademola Lookman switching from left to right, allowing Victor Carlo to also show his dribbling skills, and he gave the assist to Ademola for the third goal. So you see that he identified the problem and fixes it in time enough to get the result that he wants.
Well, a game in hand, and that's going to be against Rwanda tomorrow. But first, former Super Eagles coach, the German tactician Ghana Raw, has acknowledged the gap in quality between his players and the Super Eagles after the 3-0 defeat to Nigeria, and that's in that qualifiers on Saturday. He previously had praised his team's victory against Nigeria during the 2026 World Cup qualifiers in June and concluded that the class disparity was evident in the most recent encounter. Now, he, while reflecting on the match, emphasized the difference in resources, pointing out that Nigerian players are high-level professionals with significant playing time at their respective clubs, while some of the Benin Republic's players have limited club exposure. I'm hoping that we have Chimela Roha standing by. If we do not, we'll probably just move on with the conversation. I'll be waiting for that signal to get Chimela Roha, who is an ex-footballer and also an administrator, into the forum, because I'm very certain he was at the stadium. He saw the game live. We would want to ascertain what his thoughts are, because a lot of persons have mixed thoughts about or mixed feelings about Nigeria's performance after that game. And yes, with the game against Rwanda, in the offing tomorrow, we would want to say, hopefully it's not a fluke. I was having an off-the-set conversation with Baba Olaye, and he was saying, are you sure that these guys are really, they've improved, or are we expecting some heartbreak against Rwanda? So all of those are what if we have side by side, the games, then you would say, okay, you look at it from this angle, look at it from this angle. But then someone who was at the stadium would have made sense to contribute. Chimele Roha, if he's standing by, would love to have him on the program now. Hello, Chimela. All right, so let's move on now. We might get Chimla later on, but then the Paris Olympics have come and gone. And there was a lot of expectations from Nigerian para-athletes. And that's as a result of the fact that other athletes didn't do how do I describe them? Other Olympians didn't put up so much, But then Team Nigeria secured a total of 7 medals, marking the country's performance as the lowest, since its debut in 1992. So Team Nigeria finished in 40th position at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games with 2 gold, 3 silver, and 2 bronze medals. One of those standout moments was when Falashade Oluwafemi Ayo set a new world record in the women's over 86 kilograms powerlifting event by lifting 166 kilograms, which is a historic achievement that earned her a gold medal. Now, before all of this, in the early stages of the event, we saw Eso Ogunkole secure a bronze medal in the men's single class of the para table tennis event, making him the first Nigerian athlete to achieve an individual feat at the event since the CD 2000 games. Now, the clip that was on the screen just before now was that of Onyinyechi Mark, who set a new Paralympic record in the women's 61-kilogram powerlifting division. Now, Mark lifted an impressive 150 kilograms, if I had to spell it in full, to make that very extraordinary achievement. She surpassed the former record established by a fellow Nigerian athlete, Lucy Ejike. That moment there, she let out a loud scream before lifting. It's the true spirit of Niger. And there you see her grasping up to move 150 kilograms of weight off the stand from her chest and back up to win that gold medal. Congratulations has been pouring in from the Minister of Sports, talking about Senator Eo. And of course, the governor of Abia State has also lent a voice because Onyechi is Abia athlete. And I mean, in recent times, we've seen Abia athletes do well at the center, representing the country. And we cannot help but give kudos to her. Of course, the director of the Ministry of Sports, this in Abia State, and the Sports Council, led by the name skips my head now, but then all has been a collaborative effort to ensure that we get the little. But then, in comparison to what Nigerians have been putting out in the Paralympics since 1992, this is a far cry.
Yeah, it's a far cry, like you said, and it's a decline from what we used to be. I mean, getting a total of 7 medals in total and not having enough gold medals to go around. I mean, we are known to perform well or to perform better than this, but it's just a shame to see that we, fell short or in some categories and in some segments. But we expect that we get better, and with time, with more investment, with more, opening these things to more people to participate in. And scouting is our problem. There are people that can do this, people that can, go out there and compete. Don't limit it to people that have already established themselves in the game, or we like say known names. We can also get people from the street, from the grassroots, inculcate these people into this and let them go out there and showcase themselves and let the world know what they can do and show themselves out to the world. It's what I'm just saying. That I mean, look at her trying to show that she's quality, show her quality, and there are a lot of qualities out there in the street, a lot of qualities out there in grassroots sports, and that can also bring us out there and show us what we can do as Nigerians. But it's just like you said, the praises have been pouring out for her, going out there, setting the record, beating the record, and showing the world that she is quality and she can also be quality.
Well, without any iota of doubt, I must add that we're looking forward to improvements with the London Olympics in the offing. I think 2028. So there's ample opportunity for preparations to be done to ensure the team's success. So taking it back to what it used to be, we've seen better performances and outing. But in the general classification, I mean total table at the end of the Olympics, we saw China winning the tournament. How many now?
2-0.
2-0.
It's a lot of medals.
A lot of medals, I must add. Just to see if we could put that up, back to the numbers, 2-0. And they were a little bit shy of winning. That was in the Olympics proper, when they lost closely to the United States. Okay, so China, 94, 76, 50, 220. Great Britain, 49 gold, 44 silver, 31 bronze. And that's a total of 124. And United States here coming in third with 36 gold, 42 silver, 27 bronze, and a total of 105. Netherlands in fourth, 27, 17, 12, total of 56. Brazil coming in next, 25, 26, 38, total of 89. Italy, 24, 15, 32, total of 71. Ukraine, 22, 28, 32, total of 82. France in 8th position, 19, 28, 28, total of 75. Australia, 9th position, 18, 17, 28. Those are the number of medals coming up to 63. And Japan completing the table, first 10 on the table, 14, 10, 17. That's a total of 41. All right, so we are trying so hard to see if I could get in my virtual guest, talking about Chimele Rohan, who used to play, football back in those days, and it's seeming a bit difficult to get across to him. But eventually, when we do, we'll put him up. But then we have to change formations now from a 3-2-1 to a 4-2-2. And so we'll be stepping into the Nigerian Premier Football League, which we've been talking about for a couple of episodes now. And the conversation has been back to back. Would the NPFL be able, or the organizers of the league, be able to keep to the date?
Yeah.
Would it be sacrosanct, 31st of August? And so we saw that the 31st of August happened, where Economy Warriors now, who took on the Flying Antelopes in Enugu Rangers. That game ended goalless in a stalemate. And so the game resumed across 8 centers, with Sunday matches providing or producing 4 home wins, 3 away victories, and 2 draws. 18 goals in total were scored. Now, the only game without a goal was the contest between Bendel Insurance and Rivers United, which happened in Benin. So the first ever goal of the season, after El Kanemi Warriors and Enugu Rangers played out a goalless draw, in search of the season's best goal continued. And it was this weekend we saw that goal happen. Well, it was Plateau United defender Doyemi Olawole who broke the deadlock in the 23rd minute, scoring from the penalty spot the first goal and the first penalty of the season. So big wins in Ijebu. Big wins for the visitors in Umuahia, and big win for Kano Pillars. So just before we talk about all of that, let me just run it through quickly for you. Kennedy Boboe, of course, led Sunshine Stars as they kicked off their campaign with a resounding 3-0 victory over Bayelsa United in Jedbu. Saidu Salusi opened the scoring in the 42nd minute with Promise Awusami and Stephen Chukwude adding goals in the 54th and 74th minutes respectively. Eyimba International, do this with me. Nzobu, Nzobu, Eyimba. I'm on with some ghost, man. Eyimba, Nzobu. So one of the most successful teams in the NPFL, Eyimba, continued their dominance over Heartland FC. It was a 3-1 victory in the Oriental Derby. Now, despite Heartland taking the lead through Lawal Suraju in the 54th minute, the advantage lasted only 11 minutes, with Eyimba responding with 3 quick goals from substitute Ifeanyi Emekwele scoring in the 65th minute. Clinton Jefter completed the route with a brace in the 70th and the 73rd minute. Now, here's the twist about that particular game, my brother. A former coach and an assistant. So Emmanuel Amunike and Finidi. Of course, Finidi had been an assistant to Emmanuel Amunike at some point. Emmanuel Amunike, who had been touted to take over the job of Nigeria Super Eagles, ended up becoming Heartland coach after Heartland secured a spot in the NPFL when Beyond Limits could not make a return to the NPFL because they already had Remo Stars, which is managed by the same company. And so an Oriental Derby was in the offing. And we now had, I beg your pardon, a former gaffer of a former assistant to Finidi George, talking about Olaronwaju taking on Eyimba to face Emmanuel Amunike. And so you'd have like senior brother and younger brother role. And you'd have been expecting Emmanuel Amunike to surmount torpedo. And it was looking like that from the first minute. But then Eyimba, eventually won the game.
Eyimba is a big club.
Heartland now?
No, well, you can't.
Heartland has evolved, You
can't compare them to the pedigree of Eyimba. I mean, Eyimba over the years is a name that is a resounding name. It's a household name. Forget about the name. We know what they are.
And you remember Iwanyawo National. That's what metamorphosed.
I probably wouldn't have watched football, especially MPFL, as long as you have.
Okay.
But I'll tell you.
Don't be like that. Come on.
But for my own experience, Eyimba, they always have the players. They always have the excitement on the pitch. They know what it is. They go for it and they start from the beginning and they finish the game. And it's no surprise to see that they put these guys inside.
Well, Abia were, despite missing their head coach, Remo Stars missing their head coach, talking about Daniel Ogumodede, who was on national assignment, beat Abia Warriors and no more had 2-0. And the Sky Blues were clinical. Ismail Sadiq broke the deadlock in the 49th minute, while GJ Fatakun doubled the lead in the 62nd minute. Let's get Chimla Iroha into the frame now. We hear that he has connected. A very good afternoon to you, Chimela. It's good to see you. It's good to see you.
Hey, same here, PC. You look fresh from the oven.
Oh, that sounds like cake or something. Okay, come on, don't make my head swell. Are you still in New York? Are you back to your palatial home in the city of Umuahia?
Yeah, I'm back. And I'm rejuvenated. I'm happy with the outcome of our prowess in New York. We did very well there. So it was a good game after all.
If I had to juxtapose that with what happened between Abia Warriors and Remo Stars, what do you make out of it?
TC, the word to describe that was it was a tsunami of bad feelings. Give it to them. The Warrior players, they did well. Their passes were perfect. Everything about them was good. But finishing was an issue. Finishing was a big issue. You find out that they created chances, but they couldn't convert those chances. And Remo Stars just got 2 chances, and they did make the best use of those chances. And it was a sad story for us.
Let's backtrack back to the Godswill at Abio Stadium, where I'm sure you were on the pitch to see that game through. 3 goals in the bag for the Super Eagles, led by former international, talking about Austin Eguavon, who happens to be the technical director of the NFF, and also having 2 very young assistants in Daniel Gumodede and Fidelis Ilechuku. Some persons believe that this is a complete team, that the team put out a good performance, while some other school of thoughts believe that Benin Republic wasn't a true test of the mettle of the Super Eagles. Where do you lie, along these lines?
Okay. If we had Mourinho as our coach, and we also have bunch of uninspired good players, remember, mark what I said, bunch of uninspired good players, the result wouldn't have anything to go by. I think the players are better motivated now, and drawing lines of longitude and latitude in the team has suddenly disappeared. We must have a mix of everything to pull through. Like, a player having an issue with another player, a coach having an issue with a player. And it's crazy. It doesn't bring anything about good. You needed to see the good vibes in the camp. I was there at 4 points. I was there. It was beautiful. They were one another's each other. They did things together. And we were sure we were going to beat those Beninois. So that you brought Ilechuku, yeah, he has that local content. He has it. And he is a very dogged. If you saw what happened there when they brought in Osimhen, it was Ilechuku that was doing that stuff behind. We were there generally behind him, because he was insisting they put Osimhen now that it was the time. Osimhen has force. But when the Beninois were spent, they brought in Osimhen and he rounded them up. It has the local content of it. Everybody has something, everybody has an input, whether it's a Guavon or Coach TC Barra. If the coaches are not together, if they don't have that synergy, if they don't have that motivation, there's little or nothing anybody can do. Then I'll stop by scriptures. The scripture says, if the foundation is faulty, there's practically nothing the righteous man can do.
All right, so who would you say was a standout player for you? And then this is a twofold question. Going forward, we're going to be facing Rwanda, the Mavubis, and that's going to be tomorrow. how do you see that game playing out? The same replication or a replica of what happened in the Nest of Champions, considering the fact that we're playing, away? Or, I mean, is it going to be keenly contested? What do you expect?
For me, the best player there, pardon me if you think I'm eccentric or not being nice, is Chukwueze. He's my man. I don't care. Chukwueze is the best. Okay? Then for what's going to happen there in Kigali is a done deal as far as I'm concerned. If what happened at the Nest of Champions is replicated, it will be a done deal. The least they can get out of that place is with an outright win of 2-0 again.
Words, and I'm looking forward to having a conversation with you on Wednesday after that game. So it's a date, you and I, on this program, same time.
All right, TC Bara, stay away from my son. He now loves you more than he loves me.
Thank you so much. Appreciate my regards to him from all the way here to all the way wherever he is. I love him too.
We love you, TC Bara. You are the man.
Newcomers Ikorodu City were handed a chastening 3-0 defeat in Kano by Pillars. Mohamed Omar and Rabi Ali, who scored a brace, scored for the 4-time champions to hand the newly promoted side a very shocking welcome to the league. Now, Kwara United also suffered a home defeat, losing 1-2 to Niger. Now, we've talked about how we're going to be supporting Ikorodu here. But the way they started off, well, let's listen to Ikorodu's coach, find out, what he makes out of that loss before we talk about it.
This is the MPFL. Yes, performance was key for us. Yes, that was there for everybody to see, for us to be proud of. Yeah, but again, we lost concentration. And going back, we need to work this area, yes. We allowed the error happened, and the boys switched off, and the goal came and it opened it for them. Yes, you play a team like 100 players and you allow a sloppy goal come in, then you give them the advantage to want to play. But again, the boys did show some level of resilience, trying to come out to want to play. But again, the errors keep coming and they keep scoring. The next game we're going away as well. Yes, we're playing Kwara, and we've learned, and we're going to correct those areas going forward, and hopefully next game will be better for us. Good luck.
So Kwara lost to Niger Tornadoes, and of course, Ikorodu City had gained promotion to the MPFL after finishing second in the Southern Conference of the Nigerian National League, and that was behind Beyond Limits, who have gone back to the NNL, like we talked about, because their owners, own another club, which is Remo Stars. So during the preseason, we saw Ikorodu, bustling, raring and revving with energy, defeating reigning Sudanese champions Al-Merrikh SC, even Rivers United at the Valley Jet preseason tournament in Ikenne. And there was a lot of expectations, from them. But they were beaten very well by Kano Pillars, who are a very traditional side, by the way. And it was a tough account. I don't think I expected anything different. But going forward, against Kwara, who have just lost to Niger Tornadoes, do you see them picking up?
Well, they should. I mean, it's just the preliminary stage of the season, and we're just getting to, get familiar with their style of play. They're still getting to know their way around the MPFL. So this is
they're playing away from the Mobology Johnson Arena.
So I think it's just a lesson that they can learn from, or it's more or less like a tutelage. Like, okay, welcome to this. This is what it is, man. This is how it goes here. So take your L, move to the next one. Forget about what happened.
Take your L and move to the next one.
Forget about what happened before, and you just move on the next game.
Take your L and move on.
Yeah. So move on to the next game.
Yeah.
Prepare yourself, just like their coach said. You shouldn't be losing concentration.
Yeah.
Especially in the top.
Most of these guys have not played in the MPFL.
Exactly. So you should be ready to play from the get-go to the end. So don't lose concentration. Don't when fatigue comes in, it's time for your mentality to be top notch. And another thing is mentality. These players are not used to the MPFL. Most of the players in the Kano Pillars are more or less champions. Have moved around, played in different clubs, so have a feel of what it means to be in the MPFL. Also, gone and played or represented their club in international duties, or that mentality that comes with playing in and week out in the MPFL, competing with top talents, and being around top managers, and just experiencing those feelings, in a packed stadium full with fans hailing your name or chanting. The pressure comes in at some point. So I guess it's just a learning process for them, and they will do better. I would like to cheer for them and see them pick up their first win or pick up points on the table.
Well, Lobby Stars will be playing host to Aqua United today. That will complete the March they won in the MPFL. Let's see how it goes. Aqua United managed to survive relegation last season. I'm glad they're still here. The Promise Keepers hopefully will get something out from Lobby Stars, who are no pushovers and have also been title contenders in the last couple of seasons. So from football, let's get into the game of ping pong, and that will be after the break. We'll just take a minute. When we're back, tennis, the rest of the sports, and of course, sports business. Don't move anywhere. So I wanted to bring Temi Omole into the mix to find out what sport she loves to follow, but then she's just running out of the studio, and so we have to get into tennis. World number one Jannik Sinner stunned past Taylor Fritz to win the US Open and secure a second Grand Slam title of the year. The Italian won his first major title at the Australian Open in January, held of a late charge from American 12-seed Fritz. I mean, you can imagine the support from the crowd for the American, but then powered to a 6-3, 6-4, 7-5 win and held his arms aloft and looked up to the sky as he became the first player since Guillermo Vilas in 1977 to win his first two Grand Slam titles in the same season. He's also the first Italian man to win the singles title at Flushing Meadows. And Sinner said the title meant so much to him because the last period of his career was not easy, because he became tearful and dedicated his victory to his aunt. We'll just, get a feel of his on the court interview, after the game. All right, so just before we bring that up, let me find out what your thoughts are about the US Open. So far, so good.
Well, it's more or less like we have said, yeah, the big boys always stay in the game long enough to win these trophies. And with all respect to his, opponents, he did well. But Jannik Sinner is would I say the number one, undisputed right now.
Yeah.
Winning it in January, the Australian Open in January, and doing another major Grand Slam now in the US. I feel there's no taking away his achievements from him. He has obviously worked from injury, setbacks in his career, and now he's doing the doubles. He's, eyeing the treble as well.
Yeah.
I'll say that. So yeah, I feel like it's coming. It's time when he starts getting the recognition, he starts getting the accolade that he deserves. He's an outstanding player. You see him swing this racket, and you just know that he knows.
But then against an American,
well, someone told me that he lobbied his way there. But I followed it, and he's really good. He's an outstanding player. But then you cannot level up to until you have leveled up to.
Yeah.
So
would you say he has leveled up?
I think his first appearance in the final. So yeah, he has leveled up. Going toe-to-toe with Jannik, even though not taking any sets, which is sad, we can say that he's leveling up with time. He would get to the heights that he wants to.
All right, let's get to pull up that Jannik Sinner on the court interview now.
To practice well, even in the days off, believing in ourselves, which is the most important. I understood, especially in this tournament, how important the mental part is in this sport, and I guess in every sport. So yeah, I'm very happy, very proud to share this moment with my team. I know there are a lot of people watching from home, but I would like to thank everyone for being so fair in this amazing arena. So it was a huge pleasure. Trying to
in this huge arena, and that's from there we'll go to Aryna Sabalenka. who also won her first US Open title as she put the disappointment of last year's final behind her to hold off Jessica Pegula. I mean, you would have thought that it was a great game, but Sabalenka was seen smashing a racket on the floor of the locker room after losing the Flushing Media showpiece to Coco Gauff. That was last year. 12 months later on, the Belarusian second seed earned redemption in New York, dropping to the floor in celebration after she clinched a very thrilling, interesting 7-5, 7-5 win over Pegula. It's a third Grand Slam singles trophy for Sabalenka after she successfully defended her Australian Open title in January. And it also continues her dominance on hard courts with the win over Pegula, extending Sabalenka's unbeaten run on the surface at major tournaments to 14 matches. And she says she is speechless. It's always been a dream for her, and she finally got a beautiful trophy. Aryna Sabalenka after the game on the court.
I mean, guys, thank you. I heard a lot of support. You were cheering for me on those good moments. But of course, I expected you to cheer for Jessica. I mean, that wouldn't be normal if you would cheer for me, So, but anyway, guys, thank you so much for all the support throughout these 2 incredible weeks. You guys are really amazing, and you make this place very special and very enjoyable to play. So thank you so much once again. You guys are amazing.
Congratulations, Aryna.
Oh, well, Aryna had thought that the crowd would support Jessica Pegula ahead of her. But there's something about her physique. She looks like a towering giantress, in quotes.
And you can hear the emotions in her voice, really. Yeah. She really wanted this one, and she fought for it. And it's glad to see that she has, achieved her goal this year. And
yeah,
it's not easy. It's not easy. And for a lady, competing in a male-dominated sport, if you want to say that,
right.
Creating a name for herself, even from the likes of Serena Williams or the Williams sisters, and, just breaking forth into the scene, putting behind you the setback from Coco Gauff and last year, and taking this one and winning it. We don't always give eyes to the fact that she was there last year and she fought to be there again just
to get
to this, and she finally achieved it. So it's big. It's big,
well,
really.
A round of applause
for her.
Yeah.
You can really tell the emotions were really pouring out, and kudos to her.
Well, very quickly, let's cycle our way. Primož Roglič won a record equaling 4th consecutive Vuelta a España title in Spain after safely getting through the final individual time trial stage. The Slovenian's triumph means he pulls level with Roberto Heras, who won the event 4 times between 2000 and 2005. Roglič, who is 34, went into stage 21, which is a 26.4-kilometer time trial with a 2 minutes and 2 seconds lead over Decathlon AG2R LA Mondale's Ben O'Connor and the Bora Hansgrohe rider, finishing second on the stage to confirm his victory. Roglič, who took the overall race lead from Decathlon after winning stage 19, clocked a stage time of 26 minutes and 59 seconds. He finished with an overall time of 81 hours, 49 minutes and 18 seconds. Congratulations to him. And yes, the accolade also goes to England and Matt Wallace in golf, who held his nerve to win the European Masters in Switzerland after a playoff against Spain's Alfredo Gracia Heredia. Also 34 years of age, he was pegged back after going into the final day with 4-shot lead. But a birdie on the additional hole, the 18th, gave Wallace his 5th DP World Tour title and then his very first for 6 years. He was level for his final round, but a birdie at the last allowed Gracia Heredia to join him on 11 under after a 4 under round of 66. Wallace's compatriot Andrew Beef Johnson was also close to tears after a 66 enabled him to finish 3rd on 10 under after struggling in recent years with injuries and form. A quick race to athletics. George Kerr won the 5th Avenue Mile race in New York for the 2nd straight year and smashed the 43-year-old course record. The Scot came home in 3 minutes, 44.3 seconds, more than 3 seconds faster than the previous best set by Sidney Marie in 1981. Now, just 3 days after finishing 5th in Zurich Diamond League meeting, the world 1500 meters champion and Olympic silver medalist finished ahead of American Josh Hoey and Kenyan Amon Kimboi. Kerr, who's 26, now holds 2 of the 3 fastest times in the race's history. Let's take a look at football. Some international game over the weekend. 10-man Spain dug in so hard to beat Switzerland by flattening Scotland in the Nations League 4-1. The European champions led when Giselle headed home Lamine Yamal's cross. Beautiful cross from Yamal, by the way. Despite Gregor Kober's best attempts to claw it off the line, he found a way to the back of the net. Denmark, on the other hand, beat Serbia 2-0 in the group's other game to go on 6 points. Defending Nations League champion Spain drew goalless away to Serbia in their first match last week. Meanwhile, Cristiano Ronaldo reached a significant milestone on Thursday, scoring the 900th goal of his very illustrious career. And so those arguing Messi and Ronaldo, can we start that argument now? I think we should bring Kelvin to this place for starting the argument here at SOUQ Sports. Anyway, it prompted an emotional celebration by the forward as he dropped to his knees by the corner flag in tears, and it was his 131st goal for his country, while he has also scored at club level for Sporting Lisbon, Manchester United, Real Madrid, Juve, and current club Al Nassr. Great stuff.
It is important to add that he has made that 901. He's heading to 1,000 goals.
Yeah.
He did that over the weekend, and we can see that there's no stopping this. There's no stopping Ronaldo, and he has that set of achievement in his mind, and he's working towards it. 1,000
Go.
I beg your pardon. 1,000 goals, and he's on his way, and he will get it.
Let's see. Anyway, Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk wants to be on his way as his contract runs out next summer. The 33-year Netherlands international states he wants to sign a new deal to stay at the club until 2026. Those are some of the gist making the rounds, or rumor has it. Mohamed Salah is another man on social media. I think apart from the Napoli or Osimhen, it's Salah now that's, he's been attracting interest from Paris Saint-Germain and Juve. His contract is also, expiring. And I don't know where you see him going, though.
Well, I know he wouldn't really want to leave Europe, but if the money is lucrative, he might go elsewhere.
Yeah.
He's already getting to the penultimate stage of his career. So I guess, anywhere would do for him as long as the money is good.
Well, Arsenal are unwilling to let Italy midfielder Jorginho leave the club, despite Galatasaray reportedly being interested in bringing the 32-year-old before the Turkish transfer window closes. Barcelona, we hear, targeting Bayer Leverkusen defender Jonathan Tah, and of course, midfielder Joshua Kimmich, who played for Germany. And there's a bit of uncertainty about the future of Uruguay defender Ronaldo Araujo. Paris Saint-Germain are working to extend manager Luis Enrique's contract with current club, and of course is running until June 2025. Canada striker Jonathan David, who was linked to Chelsea in the summer, has said he has held talks with a couple of teams, but chose to stay at a French club, Lille. Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, and Juventus are among the clubs interested in 31-year-old Ghana and Arsenal midfielder Thomas Partey. Partey after Partey. Anyway, we'll be running from there to sports business real quick because we're practically out of time. Let me just bring you up to speed with stuff, where money has changed hands. Formula One is an undisclosed talks, held talks with brands like UBS and HSBC before landing on the deal with Spanish bank Santander. And the electric off-road racing series Extreme XC has scrapped the remaining races on the 2024 calendar, including a planned debut in the United States, and is also evaluating how best to complete the season. BeIN Sports' first installment payment for its slice of the Ligue 1 domestic rights remains unpaid, with the broadcaster understood to be holding out for full details of the sponsorship inventory it has been awarded. And of course, Argentine TV state broadcaster TV Publica has insisted that it's in talks with sub-license rights to Argentina national team for the remainder of the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers after a rare blackout last night. And we're hoping that some of these monies that they've been spending in other continents we can experience some of these things in Africa. As the NFF was, the Super Eagles were in action over the weekend, it was difficult for us to see these games on local channels and all that. And, would have expected a lot publicity on the game, viewership and all that. But
I think that owes to sponsorship rights and those that, signed deals. We would expect that NCA at least should make those kind of sporting activities available to everyone I mean, your nation is playing and you can't view it unless you have, this
Cable
cable subscription. But then we are getting there.
Are we?
Yeah.
Well, we've gotten to the end of the show.
Yeah,
That's
that's
where
for
we
sure.
are now. And definitely we'll be asking that you join us on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Hopefully, like I always say, we're looking forward to ensuring that we can bring you sports updates on SOUQ Sports every other
day.
weekday.
Yeah.
But until we're able to, finalize that arrangement, money has this legal has very important. And so if you want to sponsor this show, if you want to ensure that we're out here on air every day, I mean, put your money where your mouth is. And if you do enjoy what we do and you want to make contributions, why don't you leave your thoughts in the comment section? Follow us on our various social media handles, SOUQ News Television on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok. Come on, we're everywhere. We're like air. Final
Everywhere.
words.
SOUQ Sports. I hate to say goodbye, but I've totally enjoyed my time here on SOUQ Sports, and I'll see you on Wednesday. I remain Charlie Montero. Bye for now.
Many thanks to Kelvin or Jeffia. He's been ensuring that whatever you saw on the show, we did put together. And of course, the guys, behind the scene, punching the buttons, lifting the knobs, you guys rock. My name is TC Barra. I'm the top cat. Until I come your way again, stay true to the station, SOUQ News, because right here, it's all about you. Have a great day and bye for now.